exciting. Welcome back to On the Mic with Dr. Ace, the Global Mentor Coach, and you're listening to Business Basics. This podcast is dedicated to helping you grow your business, and I hope y'all are ready for the new year because it's already here right now. And today I have a very special guest. I'm excited to bring him to you. I met him last year on LinkedIn. And for those of you who don't believe LinkedIn works, because I didn't believe it worked, I was on there forever and it didn't work. It does work. I promise you. Just have to do it. Once you figure it out, it will work.
Yeah.
So I have a special guest with me. His name is Mr. Bryan Majors of Major Prep. And I believe the best way to introduce him is to let him tell you about his journey. So we're going to go ahead and get into today's interview because I feel like to help you all as business people, you need to hear from somebody who's been on a lot of different sides of business, who's making some headway, transitioning in his career, doing some great things, and giving back to the community. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, first off, it's an honor to be on this podcast. Again, you're an amazing spirit. Your energies are phenomenal. I really appreciate everything that you're doing. Our connection since LinkedIn has been consistent and definitely impactful. So I greatly appreciate that. Then again, to be on your podcast is a huge honor. So thank you for that. I appreciate that from you first and foremost. But for you all who don't know who I am, my name is Bryan Majors. I'm the owner of a company called Major Preparation, where the motto is putting in major work for major results, and that pertains to all parts of life. So we emphasize on teaching leadership principles that empowers preparation to magnify people's success and help them prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually towards their lifelong goals. From Harrisburg, PA, and the last 8 years, I've been in my own entrepreneurial journey and been loving every bit of it. Been through almost every emotion possible,
Right.
But now definitely grew through everything I went through, and now the journey's starting to finally get real good and really be able to evolve.
Good. So tell us about Major Prep. Why Major Prep? How did Major Prep come to life?
So for me, and what I'm talking about a lot throughout my speakings, my mentoring, my basketball training, my brain, and even the apparel represents is overcoming adversity. May 9th, 2008 was the worst and best day of my life. I was 21 years old and my father passed away. I'm the youngest of 4 African-American men who all 4 of us never, ever been incarcerated, but all of us have master's degrees. And being the youngest son, my last words that I received from my father, who had a forego heart surgery, was, "B, I'm going to be there for you." And at 21 years old, I didn't understand he meant more so spiritually versus physically, where I can touch him.
Right.
But my whole life, he has prepared me for life. He prepared me for overcoming adversity. He prepared me to be able to endure life's journey and life's marathon. And again, back in 2008, he didn't pass. He passed away. He didn't make it through his heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And it became the worst day of my life because I lost my hero. I lost my father. But it was the best day of my life because it helped make me into a man.
Wow.
I had to use all of the morals, characteristics, and values that they had taught me and my brothers and really implement them into my life. And I was up about 3:14 in the morning one day and thinking about how to make my father proud of me still, because my father, but he became my why. He became my why I wake up each and every morning to make him proud. So I always help you have to have a why you're getting up and why you're going to do something impactful to change the world and make sure the world knows that you were here. So at that time, I was up and confused and thinking about what I'm going to do with the rest of my life to continue to make my father proud. And it hit me. My last name is Majors. He prepared me for this moment, this piece of adversity that I was facing, and it came, Major Prep. And I said it to myself in the mirror a few times, Major Prep, Major Prep. And then I'm like, well, what will Major Prep mean? I said, major work equals major results. My father always told me, you get out what you put in their life. So that what you earn what you work for. So I became Major Prep. Major work equals major results. I said it about 12 times in the mirror to myself. Major Prep. Major work equals major results. and it hit me. Then I'm saying, okay, well, what am I going to do to make sure the world knows what major prep is and knows that it, and how am I going to create a separation
Mm-hmm.
from major prep versus any other basketball trainer, any other author, any other entrepreneur, any other clothing line. Then it hit me. I said, major prep, major work equals major results. The motto is putting in major work, major results, and that pertains to all parts of life. So no matter whatever you're doing, you have to put in the work in order to get the results. You have to prepare mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually to accomplish your lifelong goals. And most importantly, throughout this whole life, throughout your own journey, you have to stay focused, remain humble, and keep working.
Wow.
It hit me,
Wow.
and I've been running ever since.
I love it. He said so much just now for y'all. I hope y'all paying attention. Y'all got to listen to this like so many times because he just said a lot in just that little bit of time. And while you were talking, I was thinking about a tweet that I saw yesterday. I'm just literally sitting here finding it because it's so powerful. A lot of times we want instant results because we live in a microwave society. We want it right now, right now, right now. And when we first met, you were talking about how some of your friends played and they went on to continue to play pro ball and how it looked like they had it all. But now they look at you and they say that you, it's like, oh my God, man, you got it all. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that we look at other people and it, you know, we look at what's happening in their life, but we don't realize the seeds that we're planting and how long it takes for them to come to harvest. And one of the tweets I saw yesterday, he said, every seed has a due season. Tomatoes, 80 days, corn, 68 days, watermelons, 80 days.
Wow.
But we're so used to, I'm gonna pop this in the microwave and it's gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, when you put something in the microwave, that plate or whatever might be burning hot, but that food be cold. Or if it's cold, or if it's hot, it don't stay hot long. So you got to eat it real fast. Now you got indigestion, you got all kinds of issues. Or if you eat slow, you got to put it right back in the microwave. So I want you to talk to us about how, you know, the time, the process, and you know how much time it took you to really develop and become this man and to put in the work. You talk about major prep, major results, major work, major results. But what does that look like in context of time? Because again, a lot of times people think, oh my God, I'm gonna hit the ground running and it's gonna work immediately. And sometimes it does. Sometimes people strike lightning and hit gold. Other times it's going to take you 80 days. It's going to take you 68 days. I mean, like if you want bamboo, it's going to take you some years to get a bamboo tree. So some things are quick. Sometimes some things take some time. Sometimes some things are trial and error, even when you're putting in the work. So talk to us about that whole process of major work to get to major results.
The biggest thing is consistency. Consistency. And a lot of times people will see other people and think that they hit big or hit gold out of nowhere.
Yep.
Research that person's backstory and see how long they were working before they hit gold. That's the ticker. Right now, especially on social media, you'll see different people and it looks like they hit gold out of nowhere. But search YouTube from 6 years ago. Search YouTube from 10 years ago. Search their social media from when they first started and how consistent they have been. Right. And then when it's time, it looks like they hit gold.
Right.
Eric Thomas is one of the arguably top speakers, motivational speakers in our generation, especially African Americans. But he's going on 50, finally hitting 50 grand every time he goes speak. But when he first started, when he was 23 years old, I believe, that wasn't what he was making. But right now, people are just getting tuned on to Eric Thomas or Jay-Z or Puff Daddy or Dame or anybody you can think of right now. They've been doing a lot of work. They've been putting in a lot of work for a long time and been consistent. So it just looks like it's a great hit. But everything about life takes time. Like you said, everything takes time to grow and takes time to evolve. Right. So what it looks like is consistent. I ask people what comes to mind when they think about major preparation or preparation. It's consistency. Mm-hmm. Going on 8 years in my own company, I've learned a lot. I don't think I took losses because I only believe in wins or lessons. So I'm either winning or I'm learning. Losing really is an option for me because you're only losing if you're not learning from what you just did.
Right.
So consistent. I mean, for the last going on 3 years, every single Monday at 7:36 in the morning, I drop the motivational Monday on my Instagram page. Every single Monday. Some views get higher, some views get less, but consistency so that when another year or two, or even 2 months from now, the right person sees that Major Monday, they're going to see the backstory to it.
Yeah.
So it's going to look like, boom, he struck gold, but I've been wailing, I've been punching, I've been jabbing, I've been working, I've been dipping, I've been swinging consistently.
Right.
So in order to hit big, it takes winning step by step, day by day, and being consistent and pursuing what you ever want to pursue.
I love it. And it's a valid point because Kev on stage said the same thing when he was talking about his YouTube channel, and he was like, man, I've been putting out content for a long time. And he said, me and my wife, we had a plan. If this didn't work, I was going back to work, and I was going to put all of my energy into supporting her goals. So there was some dreams that she wanted to do. And so they agreed that if this don't work within this time frame, then okay, let's put this on the back burner. You still work it, but you get a consistent, whatever. And now let me do my stuff. But it kicked off in one video. And then next thing you know, his first videos, people went back to watch those, and it kicked off and kicked off and kicked off. And so you think, and that's why I really wanted to bring that out, because we think that everybody's striking gold on the first time around. And the truth is, no. In the age of social media, people want to be big, and it is huge right now, but it is consistency. It is work. I found it myself. I've got people who are reposting stuff that I literally wrote, that I posted in 2014, and I'll get a notification like,
yeah.
And then you look at it, and like you said, some videos get high views, and some barely anything, but it's consistency, like you said, and it's in there. You got a catalog of results that show that I've been consistent, and you just now catching up to me. But I've been hot on the street, you know what I mean? It's like I've been hot, but you just catching up to the hotness, So
exactly. It's a world of people here who have no clue. Yeah. But it's about the consistency and your patience.
Right.
Like, this is all God's time.
Yes.
This is God's time. It ain't your time. This is God's time.
I love that. And that's true.
And he's always going to test your faith, test your will, test your determination, test your courage. And he's going to keep giving you tests each and every day to test you and see if you're even ready to strike gold.
Because if you are who you need to be for it, you will drown. I would say that you guys probably you've heard me say that before. Listen, if you are not ready for what you're building, you will drown, and it will absolutely not be anything that you enjoy. And then next thing you know, this is how people burn out. This is how you see a lot of that stuff happening, because they aren't who they need to be. They're not ready for it. So you jump in. It's like throwing a kid into 6 or 8 feet of water and say swim or die.
Yeah. Think about how many celebrities or artists or A-list people are having mental health issues.
Because they're not ready for it.
And especially when they start young, I'd rather be to a peak 10 years from now where I can go through every emotion. I can go through learning. I can go through how it feels having $100 grand, 500 grand, $1 million. I'd rather go through all the steps so that by the time 50 million comes, 100 million comes, I can handle it at a point where I'm not losing my integrity. Right. I'm not going too far-fetched. I'm not going to go buy 20 cars and 3 homes in 3 different states. I'm going to be able to continue to keep my morals, my values, my mission intact by just evolving bit by bit.
Bit by bit, yeah. I think when you follow a process of development, you get a strong foundation. And it's that foundation that matters. And I said this earlier, a lot of times we see people just kick off and they're doing a whole lot of stuff, but they don't have a foundation. So when something happens, it's gone. Everything they built is gone because they had no foundation. And so a lot of times, with plants, the stronger the root system, the stronger that plant, You know, that's why you got trees that live to be hundreds and hundreds of years old, because those roots are going deep in. And so they're not, when the wind comes, they're not swaying. It look like they're going to fall. Listen, I live in Florida, and people wonder how trees can still stand in a hurricane. The root systems are deep, and they're built for that climate. That's the other thing. Are you built for the climate that you're in? Whatever industry that you're entering, are you built for it? I design jewelry. And I can tell you right now, when I first started, I was just like, I'm not built for that industry, because I ain't got time for this right here, and this right here, and this right here, and this right here, and I don't want to be bothered with that. I knew who I was when I first started doing it. I was just like, I don't want to be bothered with that, because I can tell you right now, I'm gonna shut that down, that don't agree with me. I don't agree with that. And so, and I'm like, I'm not gonna enter anything that's gonna cause me to compromise. I'll just make beautiful stuff for myself and be happy, you know. But now I can be like, okay, I'm in my own lane. You don't like it, okay, no problem. It's going to be for who it's going to be. Right. So you have to develop your character and your person and know where you're going. When it comes to coaching, this is it. I don't accept everybody. Why? Because I know that my style may not fit that person. Yeah. The other thing is, if you're not coachable, I'm not going to just take your money like some people will, because I got to be able to sleep at night. And I realize that some people can't and won't. So there's different factors that come into, and like you said, you look at the Tracy Ellis Rosses, she made it this far. Why? She had a solid foundation. Look at her mother. Look at the foundation. You have some child stars who walk away because they need that balance, and then they come back and you hear their stories and you say, well, where have you been? I wanted to be a real kid. I wanted to have friends. I needed balance, and now they're back and they're ready for it because they felt overwhelmed, and they made a decision even as a child that this ain't for me. You
success,
look at
success isn't,
it ain't things, it ain't stuff. Trust
success
me.
is not easy, or for the level of success a lot of people say they want to reach isn't something that's like easy, manageable to do. Like everyday life right now, when you're not as successful as you want to be, you can manage a lot.
Right.
And be way happier than that if you're not prepared for that type of level of success. Right. Success isn't something that everybody attains, because mentally it's hard to grasp, it's hard to understand, it's hard to be able to adapt and live a successful life in success and continue to be successful throughout your entire life.
I agree.
And have a healthy mind, healthy soul, healthy body. Wow, that's too early. Sometimes it's too early.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's okay. It's okay. I believe wholeheartedly in the process. Go through the process. Take your time. Evolve bit by bit. Take your time. Grow. Progress. And your story and your longevity of success is going to be longer than people who have that short-term gratification or that early success and are not able to capitalize.
Right. Earlier, you talked about, a lot of the emotions and things that you felt, in business and transitioning and things in life. Talk to us a little bit about that. What are some of those feelings and emotions that you felt, and how do you overcome them, especially in the face of, when you're putting in that work and it seems like everybody else around you are thriving and you're being consistent, or, it seems like they got everything and now the tables are turned. Like, you have so many, when it comes to being in business and success, it's a roller coaster ride. So what are some of those feelings that you experience on that roller coaster ride, and how do you address them? How do you manage and handle those emotions? And possibly, if you turn them into a positive in a way that you can use it, how do you do that?
So for me, I found my obsession early.
That's good.
So when you find something that you can become obsessed about, you'll go through fear. Your faith will be questioned, your integrity will be questioned, your respect, your responsibility, your character, your values, your morals, your mission will all be questioned. But if you have a solid foundation, as we just talked about, and it's a solid one, and it's a true one, once your obsession meets your foundation, like, you really won't waver. You'll be able to endure every emotion of fear, of pain, of sacrifice, of of the long nights, the early mornings, the blood, sweat, and tears you put into pursuing your obsession, pursuing your goals and your dreams.
Right.
But that obsession is what's going to help you overcome everything. Like,
That's
I'm really obsessed about impacting this world.
That's good.
I'm obsessed about making a better perspective and outlook on this next generation and generations that come 20 years after me. I'm obsessed about being able to provide generational wealth for my own family. I'm obsessed about wanting to make my mom's smile face on her face brighter and brighter every day. I'm obsessed about wanting to show people that you can do things and you can do anything you put your mind to, because I'm doing it. I am obsessed about making such of an impact.
Right.
And not worried about making as much money, because the money's going to come.
It sure is.
So I'm obsessed about making an impact,
right,
and allowing the money to funnel in, because I mean, money is definitely essential to have.
Oh yeah.
But when your mind and your mission is on impact, money is going to flow to you 100 times more.
Absolutely. That's one of the
serve
things that we bonded on when we first started talking. That was one of the things. Everything he just said about making an impact and the next generation, and that being like it for you, and not money being the foundation of why you do what you do. That's kind of one of the things that we bonded on instantly, because it was so much energy, synergy, and overlap. And you know, I loved his whole major work, major results, you know, and it's just, I'm like, yeah, that's true. You put in the work, you gonna get results. Because if you don't put in no work, you ain't get nothing out of it. You know what I mean? And so a big part of a person or a business's success is the work they put into their vision, their dream, their passion, their goals, you know, like you said, your obsession. And so when they put it in there, you know, they see it. But even we all get burnt out. We all get tired. Sometimes it's kind of like, okay, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be showing up to do today. You know, it's just like, okay, I'm doing so much. So other than obsession for you, what is the fuel that drives you to continue to put in that work?
It was, for me, it was my making my father proud, my why. Making my father proud, making my mother proud. And most importantly, I believe we have a due diligence to God to return his investment in us. Like, God gave it all up for us. Our families are people. There are people who believe in us and invested a lot in adults as we were growing up.
Right.
They invested a lot of time, money, energy, sacrifice into us. And if all else fails, we have a duty to return their investment in us.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a lot of people who are invested in me. Even if it was few people investing, you have to return an investment.
Yeah. That's stewardship. To me, I find that as stewardship is, and I say this all the time, stewardship is a way of life. And so it's a way to see, you know, if God can trust you with the little things. But if you're not responsible with the little things in your business, if you're not responsible and being a good steward over the little things in your business, that's a sure sign that you're not ready for the big.
Right.
Because you got to have a foundation to get a handle on it. And so if it's not in you to do it now when you're small, it's not going to be in you to do it then when you're big.
Yeah.
If you achieve big, because what you do now really speaks to how you get to where you go, if you ever get there at all. And you guys have heard me talk about why, and always keeping your why. I got a whiteboard right here with my why on it, because sometimes things get overwhelmed and it's like, oh my God, I got my why. I got everything broken down on what I'm supposed to be doing. Why? Because so much comes to you, and it's like, I'm very visionary. So for visionary leaders, vision never stops. But that can be a barrier to execution, because now I got a vision for something that I'm not supposed to be executing right now, but I feel like I got to capture it. So I have a whole parking lot list of vision, because I got to keep it going. But I line that vision up with my why. Does this line up with my why? Why I wake up and get out of my bed every day to do what I do? If it doesn't, that may not be a vision for me, because sometimes I get vision for other people. I get vision for my clients, and I write it down and be like, oh, this was for you. Okay, check, get that off, you know?
I have a funny story about, again, morals, values, and characteristics. When I was young, my father always asked my brothers and all of my friends, like, the questions. what are the parts of speech, how many letters in the alphabet, the Lord's Prayer, the planets on the earth. Some 4 basic questions that you should always know. So he quizzed every one of my friends in those things before they could like really like come over and hang. Like those are the basics that you had to understand, because he always told us that once you have a smart mind and strong mind, as you have education, that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. They can take
Right.
away your cars, your money, your man, your wife, whatever. But once you have a mind that's strong and solid, you'll always be able to prevail.
That's good.
So there's 26 letters in the alphabet. 13 is halfway through. And what I started to take from that was I have a list of 26 reasons why I have to get up.
Wow. Wow.
So if I'm feeling, and I have on my phone. So one of the first things these days I can look at my phone is I wake up, my alarm goes, I see my whys.
Wow,
So
that's good.
at some point you have to get up, feet on the ground, and get busy.
Yeah.
Some people too often, and I'm talking about how outside of obsession, between obsession and my whys is why I go, and like that's why like I have a duty, because our rest in peace to Kobe. We never know what our last day is going to be. We never know. So if today's your last day, how would the world remember you? What kind of work did you put in? How would you? What would people say about the work ethic you have? What would they say about your integrity? What would they say about your character? What would they say about your mission, your values, your morals? What would they say about you if today's your last day?
Right.
What kind of legacy would you leave for people if today was your last day?
Yeah. Yeah.
We get so complacent with tomorrow, next month, 3 weeks, with even the smallest things. But what if tomorrow doesn't come?
That's right. I agree.
So I take it as you prepare for the future, but you live for the now.
Oh, that's
And that's
good.
what I talk about major prep. I prepare to become a millionaire. But
Right.
today, if I can't focus on making $200 a day and making the 60 grand for the year, I can't do the small thing. The bigger things will never come.
Right.
I can't write a things to do list each and every day and be able to cross those things off. I won't be able to see how productive I was throughout a week, a month, my 3, 6 months, 9, 12 months. I won't be able to see that. Or also with that's another secret I have. I write down my thing to do list every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So that come the end, I have like composition books. So now to the point, I have about 4 of them. The last 4 years I've been doing it, and I can think about. I don't have to worry about what somebody else is doing. I can see how far I came myself.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that your time is now, but I see my time's coming because of the work I've been putting in.
There you go.
I know my time is coming.
Right. Right.
That's another phenomenal takeaway. Like I know some people hear interviews or podcasts, they have about 3 to 5 takeaways. I hope this obsession, I hope your things to do to be able to visualize and see your own productivity is one of your takeaways as you watch or hear this video. Your obsession, your why, your things to do, because that things to do list helps you see how far you came. It shows your evolution.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to look back and see how far you have came.
Yeah. Yeah. Self-reflection is huge in your business, and it's something that I tell people all the time. Listen, you ought to be looking at your books. You ought to be looking at your processes. You ought to be looking at your team. You got to look at everything, and you should be regularly evaluating it. What's working, what's not working, and be diligent and be flexible. So we're gonna round it out. I want you to talk about the speaking tour that you're on this year. Tell us about that and how your speaking tour is going to help your audience, who you're looking for, who's it going to impact, what's it all about? Tell us about your speaking tour for 2020.
So I wrote a book called Training for Triumph. A little quick backstory before we go into the tour. I was challenged about 3 years ago to write a book. When my creative director told me I wasn't being productive anymore. At this point, I thought I was on my game. And she challenged me to write a book. I didn't think I was an author. Right. She gave me 90 days to write a book.
Wow. And it's doable.
I accepted the challenge. But as an athlete, as a competitor, I never liked when people challenged me and try to set limits or expectations on my life. If somebody does that for me, I'm going to over exceed
Right.
abundantly what you say I can do in this amount of time.
Right.
So 30 days to a T.
Wow.
30 days at 3:17 in the morning, 3:16, 17 in the morning. I emailed her 75 pages, single spaced, of a Microsoft Word document. Ended up becoming 150 pages of a book called Training for Triumph.
Wow.
She called me about 7:19 and said, B, what did you just send me? I said, I sent you what you told me I could do in 90 days and 30 days, and hung up on her, like on purpose. And she like called me back a few minutes later, and I'm like trying to hold back my laugh. She's like, yo, stop playing with me. No, read it, give me a call back later, we'll talk about it.
Right.
And from there, the book is now at 1,263 unit sales. So right now, a little over a year. And the book tour right now, we already have about 7 dates booked. We're targeting middle school and high schoolers. So you have to think about, have you ever wondered how much further along you or anybody listening or watching this video would be if you had a book that helped align your whole future?
Right.
Step-by-step process about what you want to be when you grow up. Have you ever wondered how many people you can ask right now in 6th to 12th grade, what do you want to be or do when you grow up, and they have no clue? How many? So this book tour and this book helps every student, I promise you, relate to this book. But this book, most importantly, is a write-in book. So it's a
So it's a workbook too. So you got like it's a workbook as well. See, listen.
workbook where
Can't get no easier than that. You ain't even got to get no separate notebook. It's in it. You can do the work in the book.
in the book.
For those of you who don't believe in writing in books, he just told you can write in the book. It's there.
Write in the whole book, and I promise you, this will align any 6th to 12th graders' whole entire future. I mean, I have so many testimonials right now about people who read the book and how it's already changing their lives. And some of them are businesses younger. So imagine if you're in 8th grade and you started your t-shirt business, or you started a candy business, or now you're 37, now you got franchises up.
There you go.
And this book will, I promise, by the time a child is done reading this book, they'll understand where they want to go. So as I do the tour, I go and we'll do an hour workshop with the school with a certain amount of selected kids, students as well. So that's the first time around. That's about an hour and 15-minute workshop. And then 2 to 3 weeks later, they have a time limit to read the book, answer all the questions, and send in a 2 to 3 page book report about the book. At the time of their deadline, all the inserts, especially a lot of local schools, I'll go back to the school, but there's some schools I'm flying into where as long as the students have their report emailed in, they'll be entered into a raffle. So the raffle allows the students to win a $100 bill, $100 gift card bill. They win $100. They win a pair of Major Prep sneakers, Major Prep hoodie, or a Major Prep t-shirt. But if all else fails, the student gets to have their entire life aligned out. And for the parent, for the teacher, you can go back and see what Johnny says he wants to do or be, or Allison wants to do or be, and align their opportunities and their experiences with what they say they want to do or be.
I love it. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, y'all, that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, do you have any other parting words that you want to share with the people before we close out? Because that was all amazing. I don't know what else you can I don't know how you can top that off, but go ahead on with your bad self.
Yeah, I know it was a lot going on today. I didn't want to take too much time, but I really appreciate it. But again, if people can take away something from this 30-minute segment here, take away that find your obsession. Create 26 whys. You have to get up and better yourself and evolve. And lastly, create that book. Get that personal book that you create your things to do list each and every day. Even if it's some days might have more things than others, but something each and every day you have to do something. So by the end of that, a month, 3 months, 6, 9 months, 12 months, you can see your own personal evolution.
Yeah.
And last but not least, you can find me at www.majorpreparation.com. MAJORPREPARATION for apparel, for basketball training, and most importantly for this book tour. I promise you, if you're a mother, your child needs to read this book. If you're an educator, your students need to read this book. If you're a student, you need to read this book. I promise you this book is going to enhance your perspective. I promise you this book is going to help you evolve. And if this book does not help you evolve, I guarantee your money back. But most importantly, have me come and bring this high impact, high energy workshop book tour to your school, to your program, and let's together make a massive impact on the generation to come.
That's amazing. Well, thanks for listening. You've been on the mic with Dr. Ace, the Global Mentor Coach. If you like this podcast, I want you all, first of all, go check out Bryan Majors. He is online. Go check him out for yourself. That's all I can say. But y'all ought to know me by now to know that I ain't just having no anybody on this show.
Right.
So, but I thank you guys for tuning in. This is a special podcast. But when he and I connected and talked, and I really started thinking about a lot of our overlap, and I was just like, it would be great to have him come on and just kind of share with people, especially on in the business community, you know, some major tips of how he's getting some results, but he's putting in the work and what that looks like. So he gave y'all a whole lot. A whole lot. And I don't know what else to tell you. But I really sincerely appreciate y'all's support. Thank you so much, Bryan, for coming out with me today. Y'all, there's some topics that you would like me to cover. If you need a business coach, email me at info@globalmentorcoach.com. Again, thanks for tuning in with me, Dr. Ace, the Global Mentor Coach. Remember to spread lots of love and light. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.